We will be taking a look at how we work with factorials. To do this, we will introduce factorials, what they are, and then we can look at some examples on how we work with them. So let's start with factorial. So the factorial of a non-negative integer, so the factorial would only be for a non-negative integer, which means positive whole numbers. And we are going to be multiplying that number by the integers less than that number. So the consecutive integers, if you have a number line, it's almost like going from the positive side of the number line until you get to 1. So you're going to multiply downwards until you get to 1. So the factorial of a number is denoted by the exclamation point. So if we look at this example here, if n is a positive integer, we're going to be multiplying n by we're going to keep multiply n and keep decreasing the value until we get to 1. So let's see how we can apply that in an example. So what is the value of 7 factorial? So what that means, 7 factorial is going to be 7 multiplied by the next number lower than it, 6, and then multiplied by 5, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1. We always stop at 1. So let's try to get this, multiply this out. So we have 1 multiplied by 2, that's 2, multiplied by 3, we have 6, multiplied by 4, we have 24, multiplied by 5, we have 120, multiplied by 6, we have 720, multiplied by 7, we have 5040. The other thing you can do is you can just group them this way and just multiply them together. So this is going to be 4 times 3, 12 times 2. So you have 24 on one side of it, and then you have 7 times 6, 42, multiplied by 5, 210. 210 multiplied by 24. So we got zeros. So we're just going to multiply 21 by 24 and append a 0, or just attach a 0 to the end. This is 4, this is 8, 0, we have 2, we have 4. So this is 4, 0, 5. So this is going to be 5040. Next example, what is the value of 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial? So 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial. This is going to be 8 multiplied by 7, multiplied by 6, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1, divided by 5, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1. So you can see here that you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the numerator and the denominator. So this will cross this out. So this is going to be 8 times 7 times 6, which is going to be 56 times 6, 336. Now here's another way you can look at this. 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial is the same as 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial, and you can just cross that out. So that's still going to give you 336. Now we have 9 factorial divided by 5 factorial 4 factorial. So this is going to be 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So the 5 factorial crosses out. 3 times 2 crosses out 6. 4 crosses out 8. We have 2. So this is going to be 9 times 2 times 7, which is 18 times 7, which is 126. Final example, we have n plus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial. So this is going to be n plus 1 multiplied by n plus 1 minus 1 multiplied by n plus 1 minus 1 minus 1, and let's put a factorial there, divided by n minus 1 factorial. So let's see what this is. We have n plus 1 multiplied by n multiplied by n minus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial. So what you want to always try to do is see if you can continue writing your factorial multiplication in the numerator until you get to a point where you can have the same factorial number as what you have in your denominator, so you can cross this out. So this is going to be n multiplied by n plus 1, which is going to be n squared plus n. So this is the general formula that we've derived. So let's try an example. If we say, for example, 6 plus 1 factorial divided by 6 minus 1 factorial, what this formula really means to us is that we're going to have 6 squared plus 6, which is going to be 36 plus 6, which is 42. So that's the application of this general formula, but let's see if we can prove that to be true. So 6 plus 1 is 7 factorial divided by 5 factorial, which is 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial. So this crosses out and you're left with 7 times 6, which is 42. So that's just proof that you can use this as a general formula.